But the work problem wasn't. That's what was bad. One day I went into to work, and I came home, and my wife and I had spent a lot of time talking and sitting on our back deck, and I was working way too much. 12-hour days, 7 days a week, and it just got way carried away. And I curled up in a ball on our bed, and I had no clue what was going on. My body was shutting down, and it was just like anxiety. I just can't explain the horrible feeling inside of me. It was rotten. And my wife said, we need to go to church. We need to go to church. And I said, honey, you go ahead and go to church. I'm going back to work. And I didn't know what was going on with my body. It was definitely shutting down. It was terrible. She got in the phone book, and she started calling churches. Wanted to do a phone interview. And I believe it was 3 or 4 churches she called in the area, and they never even called her back. And then she got down in the directory, and she called a local church one, and she got a hold of a guy named Eric Fox. And Eric talked to her for a long time, probably 45 minutes to an hour on the phone. And my wife was so excited. She said, honey, I found a church. We have to check this out. I said, you go ahead and take Katie and go ahead and go and check it out. And I'm going to work this weekend. So she did. And I went to work. She came home so excited. I said, this is incredible. You need to go. Oh, I'm going to go to work next week. I did. And she went to church. The 3rd week, I decided to go. I went to church. When I walked in there, I could feel the Lord. I could feel his presence again, like I did back when I was in 4th grade. I walked through that door, I could feel him. Whoa, this is cool. The pastor had a salvation call, and I got up to go, and I sat back down. And then the next week, I got up and I walked up front and I sat down, and they must have not seen me. And the pastor, after a while, he was looking around. He said, did you want something? And I said, yeah, I came here to find Jesus Christ. And I went out back and I talked with one of the elders. And we planted that stick in the ground right there. And I asked Jesus Christ to come into my life. My wife was in shock. She said, all of these years, and I thought you were saved. What would have happened if you would have died? I never knew. She was just shaking her head and says, honey, I feel so bad. We should have talked about this. But it was in God's timing.